ready, my friends. Everyone has a package of crayons, yes, or markers? Mm-hmm. Yes. Put your dear book away, copying good slips in the bag. Let's not go up to the bucket until after this, can I? Just put it down. All right. So last week we did a sentence fragment. God bless you. You some Carol? Do you remember last week we worked all with sentences? And we worked on sentences that are way too long and they have too much stuff inside of them. Anyone remember what that's called?
Oh.
A sentence what? What, Renee?
A run-on sentence?
A run-on sentence, right? You all right? Okay. Right, so we worked on run-on sentences. We fixed some run-on sentences. Sentences that just had way too many verbs in them, way too many nouns. Trying to stuff too much information into one sentence, we couldn't take a breath. What was the other kind of sentence that we saw? A sentence that didn't have enough. What was that called, Alexander? A sentence that didn't have enough information.
Sentence fragment.
You got it. A sentence fragment. So now a sentence fragment. If I have a sentence fragment that has a subject, what's the part that it's missing, Mackenzie?
The predicate.
The predicate, right? If I just have a subject, the dog, is that a full sentence?
No.
Right, I don't know what the dog is doing. Now what if I just have a predicate? What am I missing there? If I just have the predicate, what's the part I'm missing, Tony?
The subject.
The subject, absolutely. If we just had went for a walk, do we know who or what went for a walk?
No.
No, right? So a sentence fragment is missing one of its two parts. It's missing its subject or it's missing its predicate. Yes, Mackenzie?
But what if for a run-on sentence, like it has both? I mean, what if for a run-on sentence, like it said it has two parts, but in one of the parts it has like a dog and it's saying what the dog is doing, and then the other part it just says like the cat.
That's an excellent point, Mackenzie. Sometimes a run-on sentence is we have a subject and we have a predicate, and then we maybe have a little bit left over. We have another subject, but it doesn't tell us enough information. That's why it's a run-on sentence. That's why we need to break those up into two sentences and fill in the missing part. You see that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yes, Curtis?
What if it doesn't have a subject? I'm not a subject, but what if it has neither of them?
Neither of them in a run-on sentence?
No, or in any type of sentence.
Give me an example.
Like,
If it's a fragment, Curday, if it's a sentence fragment, it either has one or the other. It's either missing its predicate, what the sentence is about. Put that away. It's either missing its predicate, what the sentence is about, or excuse me, what the subject is doing, who or what is doing, or it's missing its subject, what the sentence is about, what we're talking about.
so I can't lose both of them?
Not really. Then we wouldn't really have any words, right? We just have connecting words. All right, so today, moving on from sentences, I want us to focus on something different. And I want to see if maybe you can figure out what we're focusing on by looking at this paragraph. All right, can I have a volunteer to try and read this paragraph for us? Try and read this paragraph for us. All right, Jayla, read it for us.
I am so excited for this summer.
Nice and loud. I am so excited.
I am so excited for the summer. I'm going to get extra sleep in the morning because I will not have to rush to school. I am almost looking forward to sunny weather time at the lake and no homework. The Detroit River on Belle Isle is going to look gorgeous because it sparkles in the sun. And I always get together with my cousins in the summer. We'll have a barbecue if it's not raining, and my aunt's going to get us some hamburgers and hot dogs for the picnic. And she keeps asking me, do you need a new pair of sunglasses? I think this means she might get me a new pair. I'm really excited for it to be warm outside and go to vacation.
Holy moly! Take a breath. Anson, what's up?
There's no periods.
There's no periods. Anson has cracked the case here. All right, we have no periods in this paragraph, otherwise known as what?
one-on sentence.
It's one huge run-on sentence. You're absolutely right.
Oh,
Right, but what are we missing,
Multiple
Mackenzie?
of them.
Sit up. Oh my goodness. Sit up.
what is it called? Exclamation. It's not
Exclamations are part of it. You're absolutely right. But it's like its own
I
secret
forgot the
code. It
word.
starts with a P.
punctuation.
Oh,
Punctuation.
Punctuation. So we're going to focus on punctuation. All right? This whole paragraph is missing its punctuation, which is why, Jayla, did you have a little trouble reading that?
Yes.
Right. And Jayla was naturally taking breaths. Tony fixed your shirt. Jayla was naturally sort of taking breaths when she needed to. But usually, what helps us sort of indicate that we can pause and take a breath before we move on to the next sentence?
A comma.
A comma, sure, that tells us we need to pause. What tells us we definitely need to stop? We need to stop here before we move on to the next sentence, Journey. The period. Sit up. So what we're going to be doing with our index cards in front of us is I want you to take out a pencil and then your markers or your crayons. Okay, so you need your index cards, your coloring supplies, and a pencil. We're going to be kind of making a punctuation packet, all right? So on each index card, we're going to make a different kind of punctuation. And we're going to be making little booklets of our punctuation, so that way when we correct our own sentences, we correct our own paragraphs, we can place in the proper punctuation. So let me explain to you what we're going to do. We're going to revisit this once we make our packet and see if we can fill it in with the proper punctuation. The first one I'm going to start with is the most obvious one, which is a what? Raise your hand. Mackenzie?
Capital letter at the beginning of your sentence.
Oh, you're absolutely right, Mackenzie. We always want to start our sentence with a capital letter. But if I'm thinking of punctuation, punctuation, what's the most obvious form of punctuation that we always use? It becomes at the end of the
Period.
sentence. Period.